Hey guys, today is another Friday and I hope you're going to have a very nice weekend first, right? So actually, I think you know that there is a report from Forbes, right, saying that the new world's billionaire. So do you know that it's more than 20 years before? At the time I'm about very early 30, right? And I start to buy stock. Then at the time there is still a lot of security agents in Hong Kong. Not like now. Now is a lot of the job is automatically done by the bank. So now Hong Kong is left just very few. They must be big, or they are some sub companies of the banks, or very big companies, sub company, still doing the security. Because actually a lot of the security automatically done by the bank, and they're doing well. And like if I buy the American stock, I use Citibank. If buy Hong Kong stock, I use Bank of China, blah blah blah, something like that, right? So the thing is like that. At the time when I was just start to buy stock, it's more than 20 years before. I think it's about in the early 90s. Something like 28 years before. Then I always, when I'm doing the lunch, I always go to some bank or go to the security agents, right? And a lot of people, many of them are old people, not very old, something like about older than 40. I may be the youngest at the time. Oh, kids, right? Something like that. And then they are talking, right? Eating a lunchbox, right? At the time, there's still no, just have the cell phone, but not a smartphone. Talking on the telephone, there's a physical phone, right? And then I always talk with them, right? They telling me, oh, they lose money or they win money. And at the time, some of them, I think they may probably pass away already, because some of them at the time is more than 60. But maybe they are very rich. Right? They're big customer. And then some of them at the time they told me, you just buy the stock at the time is the world's billionaire, then you win. I still remember one old man told me about this. So today I'm going to follow the world's billionaire stock. So maybe we can win too. But if you really follow their stock in the last year, then maybe you win a lot, right? Except for Warren Buffett, right? Because Warren Buffett now is the sixth billionaire. I think it's more than 20 years he is within the top 5, but this year become the sixth. So you can see actually the world is changing. Many years before is real estate. We all know that, right? Real estate, retail, and we still have the retail, right? The LV, right? We still have the retail. But the top one is more or less related to the technology. So actually, we should also keep on this old man's wisdom, is follow the world's billionaire stocks, then you can win. So let us examine that, right? In the past 1 week, the tech stock becomes much better, right? So actually our Falcon portfolio rised again, right? From 57% to 66% yesterday. So if you have any subjects then want me to analyze or then want me to discuss, you can leave your comment under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me, usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. Okay, let's start. So this is, I take most of the pictures from the Forbes, right? World's billionaire list. You know these two guys, right? Of course they are in cartoon, right? One is Jeff, right, from Amazon, and then one is Tesla, Elon Musk from Tesla, right? So actually, especially on Tesla, the stock rise up again for a lot. Now it's still nearly $700 per share, right? So, and also for Amazon. Amazon is bookstore, a bookstore that nearly broke. And then when Amazon changed it to online supermarket, then it boosts up. Up till now, it's nearly more than 10 years. So if you buy their stock, maybe you become a billionaire, right? Actually, in Hong Kong, certain people say billionaire, but many years before we say millionaire, but now million no use. Million in Hong Kong is no use. At least you should have 10 million, right? Not up to billionaire, right? But at least 10 million, right? If you only have 1 or 2 million, it's still good enough, but you have to be very young. Someone like under 40. If at my age, if you only have 1 or 2 million, then you will be very sad, because maybe I live up to more than 80 years old, right? Then I will not have enough money. So this is the Falcon 350,000 portfolio. So you can see actually our portfolio did much better in the last week. And then our performance rise up to again 66% in the past 14 months. We earned 55% in last year, and this year we earned 6%. Actually, I think I need to sell out some, otherwise we don't have enough cash, right? You can see we just have little cash, something like just 10%, right? Not very enough. So actually, I will consider that. So Dow Jones still at the peak, right? Still at the peak, and Nasdaq not up to the highest, but still at the highest position. Like the highest one is just 14 and 100 something, right? And now it's just 200 points to that. Just one day it will have. Okay, that's I do this picture, do a little bit editing, so you can see. Actually, I don't think it's 2021. I think it's 2020, right? But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? That is for the whole world, right? And there is Amazon, right? And then Tesla, and then Microsoft, and then LV, and then Berkshire Hathaway, and then Facebook. We all know that, right? You know that I just learned how to pronounce the LV, Louis Vuitton. I just learned it from the YouTube pronunciation. S no sound, and then the N no sound. Louis Vuitton. And then his boss, it is a French, so difficult for me, right? And then for his boss, right, is Bernard Arnault. D no sound, and then is A is the heavy note, N is the heavy note. Bernard Arnault. That's it, right? So actually, this 6 gentleman is the world's richest billionaire, the first 6 in the world. And this is Amazon against Tesla. Actually, they will have something in common, right? Is Jeff Bezos is 177 billion US dollar. A lot of them is from, a lot of the contribution is from the stock, right? And then also Elon Musk, right? Is he is the founder, or one of the founder, not the founder, is one of the founder of eBay, and then PayPal, and then now is Tesla, and then maybe the space, then leading you up to the Mars, something like that, right? No one tried before, right? So actually, all of them, their wealth, their money is from their stock, is from their company. And you can see Amazon is 177, and for Tesla, even I don't think that actually Tesla has a lot of profit now. Still, the share price give him 151 billion US dollars wealth. So actually, Elon Musk is the second one. So I have made a very quick comparison, so you know that the number 1 is Amazon, number 2 is Tesla, number 3 is LV, Louis Vuitton, right? It's 150. And the number 4 is Microsoft, Bill Gates. And actually, I tell you that actually which stock I have. Microsoft I have, and then that's it. And Warren Buffett I have two of them shares I have. If I have 6 of them, I may also become very rich, right? Okay, then number 4 is Microsoft, and number 5 is Facebook. Facebook is very aggressive. We will talk about it later. And then is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, why he should be down from number 3 to number 6 out of the top 5 is because he didn't hold a lot of tech stock. That's the issue. He holding a lot of Apple, and then he dumped a lot of Apple, right? But the point is actually he did not hold a lot of tech stock, and tech stock become hot and keep on rising for a few years already, not just last year. Let's take a look. You can see that actually for Amazon, 5 years before it's just about 800, and now is 5 times. That means every year, in an average, is a double. But actually, in the past 1 year, and after it rises up to the top, it actually stopped for a while. I think it's because the fixed expenditure, right? And the second one is Tesla. Amazing, right? You can see in 2020, Tesla, whoa. Even now it dropped it close to 700. It rised, I don't know how many. I don't know how many times. Maybe at the time he's just less than 100, 7 times, right? But you can see that actually Tesla's PE is crazily high, more than 1,000. And for Amazon, I think it's okay, 79. But actually the tech stock or any stock or big enterprises in America, when it is at a high growth, its PE ratio is high, something like 200, 150, and if it down to something like less than 100, then its growth is slowing down. It's more or less like that, right? So another one is Microsoft. We all know about that, right? Microsoft is quite linear. You can see it's quite linear, gradually increasing. In 5 years before, we take one stage as 5 year, right? Normally, like the China, right? It's something like 54. You see that is 54, the share price. Now it's 252. That means it's 5 times. 5 times in the past 5 years. That means 1 year it increased 1 time, right? And then is the Louis Vuitton, right? We can see actually it's doing quite well, right? 5 years before it's about 40. After 5 years, 140. 3 times something. Not up to 4 times. 3 times something. But actually if you bought a stock that is your key stock and it rises up more than 2 times in the past 5 years, is already very good already, right? You can see in the past 1 year, LV's stock price increased at a double from 70 to 140, right? And then it's Facebook. Facebook is quite Facebook is quite aggressive. Facebook always want to go into other market, like India, like Brazil. He always want to use the pay, like the WhatsApp, to go into other market. And that market is a giant market, like Brazil, 0.3 billion people. Like India is similar population size as China, 1.3 something billion people. So actually, Mark Zuckerberg is very aggressive. And then it make me start to think, should I buy his stock? Actually, because if Facebook can go into other big markets successfully, it's like it has another China. It can't go into China because China is blocked, right? China is prohibited. But the point is, if Facebook can go into Brazil or can go into India, then it's another golden chance for Facebook, right? What I'm thinking is like that. Should I? It seems no other social media can. I don't know why I'm not using a lot on Facebook, but actually his advertisement income seems growing, right? You can see after the drop and then it rise up again. It's like that. A lot of people in America, in Europe, still using Facebook. Don't know why, right? And another one is Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is not doing good. Even I have his stock, right? You can see 5 years before it's about 200,000, close to 200,000, 200 and 210,000, and then after 5 years, it is in increment is less than one time. You can see how much Facebook been increased for the past 5 years. Say it's 100, now it's 300 times 3, and in Warren Buffett, it just times 2, the lowest one. So he's been out from the top 5, and most probably is because what the stock he is holding is quite traditional. I can say very traditional, like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, something like that. I'm not saying that those finance are not good, but for those, the growth is limited because the money go to the tech stock. So we should think about that. So for the young people that looking at this channel, then I'm not young people, I'm over 50. So you can consider pick up some industry that is hot. Because in Chinese there is one word is, it's not because you are capable or not, it's because you are in a capable industry or not, right? If you are in a capable industry, then you will boom up. But if you are very smart, but you are in a declining industry, then you will waste your effort and also waste your time, right? Because if you can earn money, maybe at my age, then you can not doing anything, then you can go to have your own time, deal with your wife, your son or your grandson, your dog, go to the seaside, have your own life, right? No need to work for the others. But if you go into a wrong industry or declining industry, then it will seriously affect your life and also affect your living, affect your life with your son, affect your son's life, affect your grandson's life, something like that. So find industry that is bright and have the future. The future is at least for future 20 years. We don't know, right? We don't know future 50 years still is good or not. But at least we can pick up an industry that is in the coming, you can foresee in the coming 10 or 20 years still good, right? So I picked up the wrong one. It's apparel, right? I picked up the wrong one. But in my early 30, I have keen interest in investment, in finance. So I'm still doing that, right? But I quitted the apparel already because there's no apparel now in Hong Kong. No apparel now in China as well. China has been grown up for apparel for more than nearly 40 years. But because its wages going high, and the living standard high, then it's not suitable for apparel already because that is for cheap labor, right? So now it goes to India, Africa, and then Vietnam, Cambodia, Indonesia, something like that. Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh is also expensive now already, right? So pick up the industry that is likely to make you a billionaire, right? And then the one is finance, right? finance and investment. It's easy, it's just reading, right? But not easy. And honestly, I tell you, finance and investment is not easy. You need to pass some barriers for at least 10 or 20 years because you can be mature, right? So now I don't think that finance is the number one. Still good, right? For investment banking, is still good, right? But I don't think it's the number one. I think the number one is technology, and together plus manufacturing, because technology needs manufacturing, right? You need to manufacture the technology products. So I think now is the best one is technology plus manufacturing. And then I think the remarkable one is now in America and then in Taiwan. Also Samsung is good, right? Also Samsung is good. And Japan is coming up. Japan is coming up. Forget about Hong Kong, right? Hong Kong is, right? Just, I don't know how to say, right? So actually now technology plus manufacturing, I think is the coming 5 to 10 years golden star, right? You can see technology. Actually, Amazon is a bookstore, right? And then when it changed it to a supermarket, it changed it to an online supermarket. And then that online is the technology. The nature is just a supermarket. Supermarkets is more than 100 years before a small shop like Walmart, right? But when you get new life to it, then it become a new technology. And then it's the manufacturing. Like the phones, like the chips, now everyone short or is lack of chips, right? And the cars and the cell phone and the top cell phone, literally they all need the chips, right? So actually I think in the coming 5 to 10 years, concentrate on technology and manufacturing. Technology plus manufacturing, I think they are the golden star in the coming 5 to 10 years. I'm not saying finance is not good, right? Finance is still good, right? But the point is, finance and investment may not be as hot as before. In the past 10 years before the pandemic, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and then they investment, right? They are very hot. But now seem changed that they also need to go to finance, go to technology plus manufacturing, right? So if you are just young, under 30, you should think of going into an industry that the industry is have a bright future, at least in the coming 10 to 20 years, right? And then the fourth one is fashion and retail. I don't think fashion and retail, some of them, like the luxury, like LV, but it's very difficult for you to do successful on a brand. Normally 99% is fail. 99% is fail. Like Lululemon's been for a hard time for a long time, right? For a long time. Something like the Bumble, like Match, they okay. Strange because it's online, right? Because it's online. And a lot of business they fail is because there is a physical expenditure. A lot of industry they fail and they close, they broke during this pandemic because they have a physical shop and there is a physical expenditure. But Match, no need. Bumble, no need. Right? If less business, we can cut people. Like the Visa. If less business, cut people. More business, more people. So you will not broke. But fashion and retail, or maybe you like the Stitch, is going online. Otherwise, if you open a physical store, then it's quite risky. Huh? Okay, the number 5, healthcare, right? I think healthcare is going to be the golden star in the coming few years because of the pandemic, right? Because of the pandemic. But the pandemic will not be forever. Maybe after 2021, it's gone, right? So we have to be careful on that. We have to be careful on that, right? So, but you know that healthcare, you have to invest a lot of money, right? And you can go into this industry You can go into this industry, but need a professional study, professional qualification. And then number 6 is food and beverage, and number 7 is real estate. Real estate, I don't think that they will be the faction in the coming 5 to 10 years, especially for real estate, because work from home, right? Because work from home, right? Right. And in food and beverage, something like that, because you can see that the richest one is the Zhongshan. Zhongshan is for bottled water. But it's because why it becomes so hot is because China has a lot of people. It has 1.4 billion people, right? So every purchase is giant, right? It's big, but not in other area. So actually, and also he invented Zhongshan. He invented the company is, I don't know how long, maybe more than 20 years, right? But not now. Now also in China go to technology, right? So I think that actually food and beverage and real estate will not be the one that you should be considering in the coming 5 or 10 years. Okay, the last 3 is diversified. Diversified, that means you do a lot of different things, like petrol, oil and gas, retail, telecommunication, right? It doesn't matter, right? And then for energy is different in USA than in China. In China, everything is from the government. It's monitored by the government for the energy, like the electricity, like the oil, like the gas. Everyone is closely monitored by the government. Not like in America. In this state, it will have 1 or 2 energy company, and in that state, we'll have another different 2, right? So it's still okay, because actually we need electricity, we need the solar energy, and something like that. Media and entertainment, I don't think so. Media and entertainment, I don't think so, because actually a lot of the advertisement expenditure goes to the social media, not the traditional media. And that one is Mike Bloomberg, right? It's Mike Bloomberg of Bloomberg. In 2020, he be one of the nominee for the American president, but actually in a short time he quit, right? So actually I don't think that actually media and entertainment will be hot again, unless you can beat Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever, right? And you have to spend a lot of money. You can see that like Twitter, like Facebook, like YouTube, they've been nearly the monopoly of the industry already, right? And then you have to have another new things like the Clubhouse, right? You can see like the Parler, right? Like the other one, like Signal. Signal still need to do the pay, and then need to take the fee already, because otherwise it will break again, right? Like the WhatsApp in Hong Kong. So actually it's very difficult already, because actually they do the virtual monopoly already, like the Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google, Gmail. They did it already, right? So how you can beat them? Difficult, because they get the money. They get the money already, right? How you can beat Bloomberg? How you can beat CNBC? CNBC and Bloomberg also is threatened by the social media, because some of the advertisement income is shared by Facebook, all right? So I don't think so, right? So I think technology plus the manufacturing of the technology may be the new one that you should consider if you are young, right? Or if you just go into an industry for a short time, then you should think from the very beginning, does this industry have a bright future? If you get into industry with bright future, your probability of success is much higher. If you are a capable person, but you go into a declining industry, then probably you will not be bright. But if you just, like me, not a very smart guy, but not very stupid, but if you go into a growing industry, you will be successful, right? So make yourself have more chance of successful. And then if you can earn a big sum before you're 50 and you have your own house, then you can enjoy your life, right? Okay, so let us share up to here. Then if you like this program, please hit the like. And then if you have any comment, you can leave your comment under the YouTube, or you can directly email to me at usstockmarketweekly@gmail.com. And then please share this channel with your friends. And then if you like it, please hit the subscribe and then the bell icon. When there is new video uploaded, you can be informed. Okay, we share up to here, and I hope you have a very nice weekend. Let us see next week. Bye-bye.